Okay, so a good place to start on 2A is to draw a picture. If I can get my pen working here. So here I am looking down on top of the disk, and that's the center of the disk. And the disk has a radius equal to 1 meter, and the penny is on the rim. And I see that the period is equal to a half a second. And I can then calculate the angular velocity omega as 2 pi rads. That's once around is 2 pi divided by the time it takes to go around, 2 pi rads seconds. And so that means omega is equal to 4 pi rads per second. The acceleration is then most easily calculated from r omega squared. R is equal to 1 meter. Omega is equal to 4 pi rads per second squared. And so that's 4 pi, the quantity squared, is 16 pi squared. Meters per second squared, rads disappear. In terms of rational numbers, that's 157.9 meters per second per second. Incidentally, it's always best to express your number not in terms of irrational numbers like pi or square roots, but rational numbers, because that's a practical way to express the number. Okay, on the second part of the problem, the penny is now sitting closer with an r now of 1/2 a meter. Omega is unchanged, and so the magnitude for the acceleration then is r omega squared as before, but now r is 1/2 a meter instead of 1 meter. Omega is the same thing it was before. And so that's going to be 16 pi squared meters per second squared over 2, which is 8 pi squared meters second squared. In other words, it's just this number divided by 2. Roughly 79.0 meters per second squared. What's the linear velocity in this situation? Well, the linear velocity is most easily gotten from v equals r omega. R is 1/2 a meter. Omega is 4 pi rads per second. So v is 2 pi meters per second, which is roughly 6.3 meters per second. Now in terms of directions, the directions are for this first case, the acceleration is pointing inward. The second case, it's also pointing inward, so in other words, the direction is always changing. And then the direction for the linear velocity is tangential. So let me draw that here. That would be pointing that way. This would be v, assuming that omega is in this direction.